Good morning, everyone. It's short before 8 in the morning here in the Philippines, and I'm again on my regular morning walk. Just last July, I started walking again. Now I walk 5 days per week, and I already got to cover 3 kilometers distance each morning. Now you might ask, why 3 kilometers? And that's key of my video today too. To walk correctly, a consistent routine is one key aspect, but also the distance of just 3 kilometers is important because that's when health benefits start really to kick in. And reaching that goal is done easily. Just think about it. I've started just last month. That's only 20 days of walking. Back then, I started with just 1.8 kilometer distance. That's about a mile. And now, after just 20 training days, I've already worked my way up to walk the magical 3 kilometer distance every day, just in 1 month. And yes, I do it early in the morning because in an hour the sun will be blazing here and we'll have temperatures well over 30 degrees Celsius. Even now it's already nice warm, I guess around 25, 26 degrees and a little windy. So I thought I'd just take you along and share some thoughts and insights that come to me along the way. When you start to change your life this way, you naturally deal with the topic of walking a lot. And what stands out is how many misinformations are circulating out there. One of the biggest is certainly the thing about 10,000 steps per day. But I found it fascinating to find out where this number actually comes from. It doesn't come from science, but from a clever marketing campaign from the 1960s in Japan for a pedometer called Manpo-K, which means 10,000 step counter. Instead of believing in an outdated marketing campaign, I searched further and came across a recent BBC report. Thousands of people is clear. The turning point for our health is at about 7,000 steps per day. And just to put this in perspective, for an average American, these 7,000 steps, depending on stride length, is a distance of about 5.5 kilometers. With that 7,000 step count, you significantly reduce your risk for many serious diseases. But what's even better in this report is the insight that the biggest health jump happens much earlier, namely when you go from very little activity to just about 4,000 steps a day. This is where it gets so interesting because with an average stride length of about 75 centimeters, now my daily 3 kilometers correspond then pretty exactly to these 4,000 steps. That means I'm already now, after just about 20 training days, exactly in the range that makes the biggest difference for my health. In just 1 month, I, lazy guts, have managed to enormously improve my health. If that's not motivation, what is? But the step count is just one thing. How I walk and what happens in my body is another. Especially for someone like me, at now 60 and about 10 kilo overweight, this is super interesting. A crucial point is what happens in my cardiovascular system. My pulse stays consistently at just over 100 beats per minute while walking. For a 60-year-old, this is the optimal aerobic range. In this zone, the body learns to burn fat highly efficiently, especially the dangerous belly fat. At the same time, it's the best training to lower blood pressure and improve insulin sensitivity, which is crucial in the fight against age-related diabetes. Equally important for me is the joint issue. From years of experience, I know that walking is great training for beginners because it's easy on the joints. Unlike jogging, walking is a low-impact movement. By walking, I strengthen the muscles around the knee and hip, which then act like a support corset instead of stressing the joints through hard impacts when jogging. You could say I'm lubricating my joints with every step. But I'm also honest with you, it's not just about discipline, but above all about listening to your own body. And believe me, after my 3 kilometer at a brisk pace, I definitely feel my leg and back muscles. And for me, that's the best sign of all. This slight training soreness, this clear feeling of the muscles show me that my body is still working and adapting to the stress. It is the clear signal that my 3 kilometer is exactly the right dose at the moment. So I'm doing well not to overdo it and not upgrade to 5 kilometers out of false ambition or overconfidence. No, my principle is quite simple. Only when I notice that the 3 kilometers feel easy and I barely feel any stress afterwards, only then is the moment when I take the next step and subject my body to a little more load. My motto is quite clear: slow but steady. That's the healthy and gentle way to the goal. And part of this gentle approach is also taking time for recovery. My morning ritual here therefore costs me about 2 hours in total. About 1 hour for the training itself, and then another hour where I shower and consciously give my body rest for regeneration. My rhythm of 2 to 3 training days followed by a rest day is part of exactly this strategy. Only this way can the body really recover and ultimately become stronger. And although I'm advocating for walking here, I now come to perhaps the most important point, because the assumption that walking alone is sufficient is a widespread but only partially correct notion. It's a perfect foundation, but it's not the whole house. Take heart health, for example. My training here is a fantastic base, but I also know that the heart is a muscle, and the muscle needs a challenge from time to time to become really strong. That's why I already have a concrete plan for how I want to take the next step to challenge my heart even more. And this brings me to a point that I know from experience, but which is often forgotten: the whole body issue. Walking is a great training for endurance and for the legs, no question. But our body is a unit. What about a stable core, a strong back, the abs? These important support muscles are hardly challenged when walking. If you only focus on walking, you're training the body very one-sidedly. The consequence can then be that tensions occur or you develop an unfavorable posture because the supporting muscles are missing. That's what I mean when I say walking is the foundation, but not the whole house. So it's not about walking being bad, but about complementing it wisely. This also includes the attitude towards training. It's not about biting through pain. It's about listening to your own body, distinguishing pleasant exertion from a real warning signal, and consciously taking breaks. Training smart is more important than just training hard. So what does all this mean for my future? My plan, therefore, consists of several parts. As far as endurance is concerned, I've already worked up to 3 kilometers for brisk walking at 5 kilometers per hour. As soon as I notice that I no longer feel exhaustion here, I will skip my morning walk on 1 or 2 days per week and instead move my training to late afternoon at the Bay Walk at Il Corso Mall in Cebu City. There I want to start with the real interval training. That means always alternate between walking briskly for a stretch and then jogging very easily for a short stretch. The whole thing initially over a distance of 3 to 4 kilometers. My goal is to get to the point in the next 6 months where I can easily jog 5 kilometers straight through. That's the plan, to increase intensity slowly and above all safety. But that's only one side of the coin. The other crucial side is strengthening. And I'm quite honest here, that's the building block I'm not actually implementing yet. I once heard the analogy that fitness is like a table. Walking is one leg. Without the other legs, strength, flexibility, balance, the table wobbles. My table is still wobbling at the moment. My plan for this, which isn't quite ready yet, is to go to the local gym around the corner here in Cebu City twice a week in the future. A really simple, rudimentary Philippine gym without air conditioning and luxury, but with raw iron and sweat, the way it should be. But first, I want to let my walking and running routine and the associated new daily schedule become a fixed routine, because so far it was also constant disruptions that kept me from regular training. That's it for today at Durham White Beach here in Tabuelan. My 3 kilometers nearly at the beach done, and it's a damn good feeling. If I summarize everything, then my message to you is quite simple. First of all, start, no matter where you stand. My own path from just 1.8 to 3 kilometers in just 20 training days clearly shows that progress is always possible. It doesn't have to be from 0 to 100%. Furthermore, it's important to understand that walking is a fantastic foundation, but not the sole solution. True sustainable fitness in old age is a trinity. It consists of the endurance you get from walking, targeted strengthening for your muscles and stability, and conscious regeneration where your body adapts and becomes stronger. My journey is far from over. It has just really begun. Thanks for accompanying me on my morning round today. Maybe I was able to give you some food for thought for your own path. Don't forget to write what your plans and goals are in the comments. Take care, stay with it. See you.